A very good afternoon, friends. And after a long time of gap, I have come back. I hope that all of you are safe. And today, I have started a new era, or I like a new branches of geography. It's not the branches of geography, rather, it's a part of geographical research and any kind of research in social science. Research methodology. Most of the universities have this part in their graduation and also in their master's syllabus. So today I have started with the very first initial topic, which is called the geographical research, meaning, nature and type. So first question is coming, what is geographical research? Before knowing the geographical research, what I feel it is very important for us to know what means the research. Research is something which always try to explore any kind of fact or some information of a known fact. I just want to put up some examples. Suppose all of us know that COVID-19, this pandemic, has affected the whole civilization. Okay, but there are few scientists, or not a few, there is a whole number of a huge number of scientists who are working on this particular field, and they are from the diverse discipline. Few of them are trying to understand the nature of this virus, how the vaccine can be invented. Few are working to understand what kind of strategies can be taken for the perspective of the health, how we can build up our infrastructure in such a way that our regular life will be normalized. So the thing is that all of us know that pandemic is already spread throughout the world. It is a known factor. Few of scientists are working to know the changing characteristics. So they know that the main virus is coronavirus, but they are trying to analyze that how the nature of this virus change. So the tools are also the part of research. One, at the very initial stage, when the scientists started to know that why this kind of disease has started, this was the initial time research. It was totally unknown. It was a part of research, and again when the scientists then started to explore the nature, changing nature, the type, the different categories of the coronavirus, then it's also explores some unknown facts. So from here I just want to tell you that the research always try to explore some new facts or some unexplored facts of a known phenomena. It always try to give a solution to the problems. Most of the research, like nowadays, after inventing or after exploring the nature of the coronavirus, most of the scientists from the discipline of microbiology and immunology, they are now trying to invent the different kinds of what I could say, the medicine, different kinds of different kinds of medicines or vaccines by which we can prevent it. So it always try to, at the very initial stage, it was like more like a draft, like what kind of information is provided, but next it all about to given a solution to the problems. It's always given emphasis that whenever you are going for a research, please put up some good suggestion. It always has a purposive investigation. Like in the early morning, if you wake up and your mother say that please go to the different shops and buy one kind of branded soaps at a very lesser price, then what you do, that you move to the market, visit 10 to 11 shops, and then from here you make the comparison of the prices, and then you purchase a particular soap. Okay, so definitely you have done this investigation for a purpose, and when it has been done for a larger perspective, okay, when someone has tried to understand that why people are doing research on the effect of pandemic, definitely you have to mention what is your objective, why you are doing this. Without the objective, a research cannot be defined. So our research should need a purpose, then it should have a organized inquiry. Means when you make a research, you have to first design a methodology, like how you move. in the physical science or in the biological science, they have their laboratory equipments, they have particular methodology, they have different kinds of sets of formulas, they have different kinds of sets of things by which they progress in their research. And in our social science research, we also have different kinds of methodology and which we have to follow. Like in any kind of research paper, I request all of you, please go through that. Here you get few points, like one is objective, what I am talking about, the purposive investigation, and then you definitely get the methodology. This is the most two important section of any kind of research. Without this, a research cannot be validated. Then the explanation to unexplained facts. I am telling you that when you complete your research, you have to come up some unknown facts. You have to explore some facts which was not discovered yet. Otherwise, what is the importance of your research? There shouldn't be any significance. Then the next point is clarify doubtful proposition. This proposition, when in our next my next video, definitely I try to give you some idea about the proposition and hypothesis. But first I am telling you, when you start a research, at the very beginning you have to put some kind of hypothesis or proposition. Like suppose I am trying to I'm started my research on impact of literacy on women empowerment. So as for the research which has been published, or in general what kind of information we have, we can propose that yes, the literacy always have a very good impact on the women empowerment. So at the end of my research, I have to clarify this proposition, that how far I am right or how far I am wrong. This one is very important. Then explore new things or some unknown facts of known phenomena. This one I have said that you know that the importance of the literacy on women empowerment, but maybe at the end of your research you have come up with some different kind of explanation. Like it has been found that always the highly educated women do not enjoy the authority inside their family. The reason is that the authority of a person inside a family is depend on the culture of the people who reside in the family, what kind of perception they have regarding women. So this kind of new facts can come up, and this all the important information or all the characteristics we have found in the geographical research, along with a interesting fact that geographical research always give emphasis between the relationship of the man environment. So we always try to understand this all kind of phenomena will be there in the, or characteristics will be there in the geographical research, but the context always will be man environment relationship. So this is the specific unique characteristics of geographical research. Now come to the nature of the geographical research. So first, geography is a interdisciplinary subject. We know it can be considered as pure art subject, sometimes a science, because we have different branches which is more connected to sometimes to the pure science discipline and sometimes to the social science discipline. So it has a quality, the geographical research is always follow the methodology, the research design which has been followed up by the researcher of the pure science discipline and also by the social science and humanities discipline. It research methods always follows few steps. We always follow few steps, means we have a particular kind of roadmap which one has to follow. At the very beginning, we have to formulation research question and research hypothesis, which I have already mentioned, because every research needs this kind of things. Then in our research, in geographical research, field survey is very important. Traveling is very important. Whenever we have to, why people are taking you for a field for excursion? It's not about to move to a new place to explore something. No, because without traveling to a new place, how can you explore it? So traveling is an important part of geographical research. And field survey, you have to stay in the field, you have to gather the information, staying inside the field. It is not like that I'm asking people over the phone, please send me the information, and then you publish a research. It can't works in geography. Then we have used different kinds of instruments, barometer, altimeter, theodolite, and these are the instrument, GIS, GPS, these things are there. Data collection is very important, and this data can be collected using the both quantitative and the qualitative measures. Quantitative, when I am applying a pure statistical analysis and when I am applying some ethnographical work. Then it give more emphasis on the region based study. Like if you see any geographical paper, it is very obvious that you get a particular point study area which may be missed in the other social science discipline. So this makes, like, we have to always give emphasis why I am selecting a particular area, why my research is better, or why my research is unique. Then it always give emphasis to analyze a particular phenomena as a whole, not in isolation. Suppose when I am going for a, when your teachers have taken you for the excursion, you go that you study all the phenomena starting from the river, drainage, vegetation, then come to the climatic phenomena. These all things we have to learn. Why? Because when you study a particular area, you have to understand everything as a whole, not in isolation. Suppose one has to study the importance of the literacy on women empowerment. That time it is not only that you have to understand the access of the women to the jobs, their access to the education. Rather, you have to understand that what kind of demography they have, what kind of family structure they have, what the situation of the religious, what kind of policies has been taken up the state. So it's all about the holistic approach, and man environment relationship is the very base of geographical study. And field survey and traveling, which I've said that starting from the Alexander von Humboldt to Karl Ritter, everyone has given emphasis on the traveling. So without this our study is incomplete. Then come to the types of geographical research. It can be divided into two broad categories. One is the intention of research, means when a researcher has attempted any kind of study, what is their intention? Depending on their intention, there are few categories of the research or few types of the research, and according to the method of study. Suppose you are a researcher. First you have to understand a particular, you have a objectives in your mind that okay, to explore these things I want to attempt this research. Depending on that, the first category will come, and the second category will come how you conduct the research. Okay, so this one will be explored one by one. Then the fundamental research. This is very important. Fundamental research, this research is attempt out of curiosity, like the gravitational theory, gravity theory of Newton, or David's cycle of erosion. It's just about to know a particular phenomena. People attempt this research. There is nothing to solve, nothing to explore, but yeah, definitely something is explored, but it's all about the curiosity to understand a particular phenomena. This kind of research is attempt. Then applied research, it is very much specific, like if someone has tried to understand the influence of the rural tourism on the rural areas, means someone's tried to understand is there any kind of negative impact on the rural people regarding tourism, or is there any kind of positive impact. So what one has to do with to understand the problem or the situation, or what should can be done. So it's all about the application. What kind of suggestion you will put, it will be applied directly. So this can be called the applied research. Next come to the exploratory research. Is this research is very much, first always try to put up examples. So please you first see the examples, then you go through the others part. So in the first one, the example is socio-economic condition of the tribal communities of North India. Suppose one has to study this topic. So what is his intention? He just has to understand that what is the overall tribal community situation, to generate some new ideas, to know the, first of all, it may be possible that the researcher may not have any kind of idea about the community, so they get a more in-depth idea about them, and to make a very precise formulation of the problem. From this study we gather so many information. So here, if the research question, like at the very beginning of any research, you have to put up a question. When your research question start with what, just what, not others, like what is the socio-economic condition of the tribal communities in India. Suppose you have to give answer to this kind of research question, then your design follow the research design of exploratory research. Next come to the descriptive kind of research. After, suppose you have so many published paper which is working on the socio-economic condition of the tribal communities, then you can't repeat it because it has already been done. So what I can do, that one researcher can say, okay, I now try to explore that what are the reasons why they are backward. So when my research question starts with why, then it's become the descriptive research. It is more specific. I am not trying to understand everything in a holistic way. I am very much to the point, to my objective, and I try to generate new information. So this is called the descriptive research. Next is the diagnostic study. Diagnostic study, sometimes it looks like it sounds like something connected with the disease. Yes, sometimes it's like a exploratory research, but what is very much important, that suppose you have understood that yes, these are the problems, or examples, if you see the backwardness of the tribal people's problem, we understand in the exploratory research design you get the answer for this reason, that why people are backward. Now the question is, can you suggest some solutions, a very applicable solution which can be directly applied to the people so that their situation can be improved. When you have kind of research design which can give you this kind of solution, it is called the diagnostic research. And diagnostic research is also a type of applied research. Then come to the evaluation research. It's very interesting. Examples: assessment of the midday meal program in the rural villages. Midday meal program which has been initiated by the government of India for the benefit of the for the adolescent children, or the school going children from class 1 to class 8. So for them, how far this midday meal program is very much effective to control the dropout rate, or what are the positive impact, is their is their health condition is improved. If you want to evaluate these things, because evaluation is important to understand the successfulness of a particular strategy, that time you have to follow the evaluation research. And next to that we have come to the action research. It's a very interesting one. And if you see the example, it is called like, if an NGO started an awareness campaign on the family planning and then assess development, is come under this category. Suppose you are working in an NGO and you are trying to start a new project. When you start a new project, you do not know that what is going to happen, but you study throughout the plan. Suppose this project is taken for the 2 years and you are studying the whole thing. First you apply the primary measures which you have taken for the family awareness program. You may have started some awareness campaign. You may go to the different villages, door to door survey. You do the things and simultaneously you get a report that how far your work how far your plan is working in favor of the development. So when these two things are simultaneously working, this is called the action research. And one thing I want to mention, that nowadays it's very much important to go for the action research when you are working as a NGO person, as a policy maker, because without action research it's very difficult, because evaluation research may only give you the idea that why it's not work or why does it work, but when you have to get a result within very few time periods, and when you want to see the proper result of your proposed plan, that time the action research is the most effective type of research design. Then come to the experimental research. This is very common in the biological science discipline and the pure science discipline, but in social science also we have these things, and in geography we have. Suppose if you go to the soil laboratory, you have seen that people collect different kinds of soil samples from this different area, and they are trying to understand that their characteristics, and they add different kinds of other ingredients to check out that how far this make a change on their characteristics or not. So this experimental research, as because my background is social geography, I also try to put some examples from the social science discipline. So if you see the example of the effect of HIV seeds on the agriculture productivity. So what I am doing, suppose you are trying to understand this is your research problem or your research question or research issue. So what I am doing, HIV effectivity of HIV is one variable of mine, and the second one is agriculture productivity. I have tried to understand the impact of the first variable on the second one. So it's all about the experimental research. I have to go to the field, I have to approach few farmers and those who are using the HIV, and I have to also select some farmers which are not using HIV. Then I have to find out the agricultural productivity, and then I have to correlate the relation between agricultural productivity and HIV. Then come to the analytical research, though I don't think it's a very it's a very separate category of research. Rather, this kind analytical research can be part of any kind of research, because when I am analyzing the whole thing using a very quantitative method, statistical application, then it's called the analytical research. Last one is the historical research. This one research is not very much common in our discipline, but obviously those are working in the historical geography and cultural geography part, this is also have been found. What is the historical research means? In historical research, you are trying to explore the historical facts. Suppose you are trying to understand the administrative system of the Janapadas, what we call the Soras Mahajanapad. This is a very common one, the earliest city system or the urban system of India. We are trying to understand it. If I am trying to understand it, what would be my source? My source will be the books, archives, which I have to collect it from different libraries, archives, then museums. Then I make my research project. So historical research can be found in geography, but it's very less. Okay. Then depending on the method, at the whatever I have said up to this, it's all about the intention. Now I have to come to the method. Depending on the method, what could be the categories of the geographical research. So first one is the survey research. Suppose like nowadays we geographers are trying to understand the effect of the COVID-19 pandemic on rural and urban population, but we do not have a opportunity to go to there to conduct door-to-door survey. So what we are doing, actually we are trying to send the we are making the Google form and we send to the people online survey we are conducting. We call the people, we take the information from them. So this can be called the survey research. We are taking a population, from there we are collecting a sample, and then we conducting our research on this particular sample. So sample, it could be probability, non-probability sampling. This one it could be under the probability sampling process, could be the non-probability sample, but definitely we have to identify a particular population, and then we have to draw the sample. So and definitely it should covers a particular geographical area. Then come to the case study. Case study method is also a very interesting method, and survey case study method, why it is different from the survey research? Actually in the case study it is very in-depth. When one try to understand like the problem of working woman, then it's working woman can be found in different parts of India. If you have the options to send the questionnaire or to go to each and everyone, at least to 1 million working women of India, you can easily get the information from them. That time it would be survey research, but due to the shortage of time, it is not possible for everyone, for a researcher to visit each and every working woman. So what they can do, they can make a case study on a particular metropolis. Like if someone is working on the Kolkata city's working woman, that time it's come under the case. Next, the field survey. What is the difference between the field survey and the case study, and then the survey method? Actually, field survey and survey, they are very connected, but the thing is that survey can be conducted over the phone using Google form, online mode. It doesn't require that you have to be in the field. Like when the Amphan, this has been it has affected the a huge area of Sundarban, but it is not possible for someone to go to this place just after the Amphan strategy. So one can do what thing, they can call up the people whom they know. Maybe they have conducted a research before, they may call the peoples and they can collect the information. So that time it's a survey, not the field survey. But when if the researchers enter into the field, enter to the Sundarban to get a very real life experience of the what is happening, and they visit people and they talk to them, they take the face to face interview, that time it becomes field survey. So obviously field survey is much more authentic, scientific and very much reliable. Thank you very much for listening to me, and I hope that you get differently good, like different information regarding the research, and it will help you to conduct the research in future, and also make your class notes for your exam. So if you like my channel, please subscribe it, and please put up your queries, and you can suggest different topics on research methodology, because for next few section I have a plan for next few days. I have a plan to make videos on research methodology, specifically in context of geography. So if you have any queries on question or any suggested topic, please put your suggestion here. Thank you very much.